What's up, I'm Daniel, this is East of Awesome, and today we're going to build a smartphone out of paper. Out of paper? Out of paper. Whoa, one moment. So, this is present Daniel. The other guy was Daniel from over a year ago, since I made this paper phone. A lot of time has passed, over a year. There was quite a lot to do, and I didn't get to cutting this video and a few other stuff that I recorded in the meantime. I tried to get this stuff out there now. I still very much like this concept, and I've refined it since then a little bit more. So I have here some variations of this concept, and at the end of the video, which is going to be a long one, so look forward to that. But if you manage to get to the end, then I quickly show you the iterations and the modifications that I made to this concept since then. Okay, so now back to the other guy. Okay, so somewhere last year, I think, I made this notebook here. Middle-sized traveler's notebook, to use it as my journal and sketchbook and a little bit of a bullet journal thing. So I made this because this that I made the year before was too big, and this A6 size, this was too small. So this is exactly in between, which is great. But now I want something in between those two. So every year a new journal size, it feels like, but that's what it is. And what I would like to try, for no other reason than that I feel like it, replace most of what my smartphone does with my journal. So I'm going for a lot of the functionality that you have in a classical paper planner. So the calendar and a note-taking system, of course, and task list, and a sketchbook that is going to take the place of the camera, I guess. So perhaps a good reason to sketch more often if you don't always have a camera with you. That's what I'm thinking about. And this year, this is my prototype that I made a few days ago. An ice cream packaging and simple copy paper and Amazon packaging thing. So this also has some appeal, but I want to make it prettier. I think I would like to have a space in here where I can store a few of the business cards that I print. 2 or 3 designs, perhaps 3. I want to have a place where I can put a credit card, so I don't have to take a wallet if I have this on me. I want a section for complete loose notes and scribbles. Then I'm going to have the calendar, task, bullet journal thingy here. Probably little tracking, monthly tracking setup, and some form of a weekly task layout. Then of course I thought about what I use the smartphone for, and often it is navigation. So I thought about putting some kind of a map in here. Let's see how much I'm going to use it, but it is a fun little thing to put in this paper phone, to have as many replacements for typical smartphone applications in here. And the last but not least, another very important aspect of the smartphone, of course, is just lost the word. Guess I need to install a dictionary in here also. Entertainment. stuff like YouTube. And this is going to be replaced by a book. And for the most time I had this book also strapped on the back side here. Yeah, like that. So it is a neat little package that makes it a little bit bulkier, and that makes it not easy but manageable to put in the front pocket. I went through my bookshelf, had a look for little books that fit this dimension. This has the exact right height, but it is very wide, so I just did cut the white space on the side, and then I saw that this is of the Penguin Modern series. This is number 51, and so there are at least 50 more of these. Then I discovered that there are also the little black classics. They have the same format, and these are more than 100. So and here in Germany we have some brands that make little books like Reklam and Surkamp. They both have also books that fit this format. So not sure if I leave it, if I'm going to leave it strapped on here, or if I just take these with me when I leave the house. We will see. This one here, more proper notebook that I had already made, so I can use this, and now I would like to start making the other ones, and then we can make the cover, and then we can see where this leads us. Oh, I haven't told you what the proper size for a PaperPhone is. I looked at the dimensions of the big iPhone, and it is 16 centimeters high. So that's, I feel like that's a good size. So it is big for a phone. Of course, I deliberately have a smaller one, but not too much bigger than this phone. And it is also the size that these books come in, and it is also fits the original intention of being in between size here. So I think 16 centimeter is nice, and then it is 8 centimeters wide, I think. And for here I thought I will go half a centimeter wider. So it still has this format that reminds of a smartphone, but it's a little bit wider. And then I think for the cover we can go with 9 centimeters wide. So it is 16 by 9. Everybody, 16 by 9. I need to tell you what that is in inches. Let's see. 16 divided by 2.54. 6.299, so 6.3 inches, and 8.5 would be 3.34 inches, and 9 would be 3.5 inches. So I think for the calendar bullet journal thingy, I'm going with these turquoise paper. I already prepared and tested out all the papers here to see the paper grain direction. We always have to think about that when we make little notebooks, because it really makes a difference. But here we can see little strings going like this, and this time it is really, that's the paper the grain direction, so it wants to rip easily in this direction, and it doesn't so easily want to rip in this direction. You see that the layers are separating here, so that's the grain direction here, but here it is different. Here that's the grain direction. So we have this in mind, and I also bought a few sheets of some nice 300 gram cardstock. So we will go for the blue cardstock and the turquoise paper for the calendar. So as I said, this is the grain direction, so we need to fold it like this. And there is not going to be much left here, so I will save the top part. Sadly, 160 millimeters or 16 centimeters is slightly too big to be able to put two here. So let the folding begin. The paper folding thingy. Does this also have a grain direction? I don't know, but probably yes. Guess we have to also rip it to see. Doesn't seem to want to rip this way very cleanly. But the other way it doesn't also want to rip. Also looks like this. So I'm not sure, but I think we will go with this direction. So I will put this here. I know that I'm going to cut the sides, so roughly the right size is good enough. So let's see what kind of thread we want here. A fitting color, or perhaps a contrasty color. You won't see it nearly ever, so let's go with this one. So use an awl and go at an angle. We'll double the thread and then double all of this as we go round and about, and then it should work out. Round and about, and it should work out. Now we need a needle. That looks good. Start in the middle. Doesn't look like in the middle because we cut. So this is the binding with thread and needle option. You also have for these little notebooks, of course, another option, and this is buying a big stapler that is long enough to reach here, and that makes it a little bit easier, of course, but it's also not as nice as the proper binding technique here, I find. But for the leftover one, I'm going just with the stapler, so it should go like here and here about. So, two techniques, both are fine, but one is a little bit nicer, the other one is quicker. Now we can cut it 16 centimeters. So I made this fold because I think I can use that to get a pen loop going here. So for the notes section, I wanted to have this yellow squared legal pad. Here I wanted to go for this color. Can't find the ruler, but good, I have a second one. There it is. The last time I rounded these corners with a coin, but since then I realized that just a straight cut works fine for me. We hang the map just in the last one that we want to stick out a little bit. So these are the main parts done here. The main sections, the random notes, scrapbook section, the bullet journal section, the little map, and then the sketchbook. Now that I have all of them, I have an idea how thick the cover has to be. So this dimension, but also this one that goes around. So I think it's time to move on to the cover. I did think about this, like if I want to sew on compartments in the inside and how I want to label this whole thing, and I think calling it PaperPhone. And I tried different symbols, like this one, like this one here, with the phone style. But then I decided to, or like this one, that's like a phone, and it folds like paper, you know. But it was all too complicated for me, for the aesthetic that I wanted it to have. So I went with a monogram of 2 pieces for PaperPhone, and then I started to design them in a way that fits the East of Awesome logo. And so I went for this, which I like better, and then I put it in a circle, bigger in the middle, and I think I like this the most. So I will make a label like this, and then for the material I wanted to try out this time leather alternative that I have been working with a lot lately, and this is cork leather. So it is a cork with canvas backing and a cork material on this top. It feels very nice, and this one feels also very sturdy. For example, I've tried little something like this here. Already with this cork leather, and you can saw it quite easily, and it holds up very good. And another thing that I thought about and that I wanted to try with the typical traveler's notebook setup, you have the string going in here and then hanging on to the notebook. So the cover always has to be quite a bit higher than the notebooks you insert, because you have to have enough room here that it doesn't rip out. Here I thought I would like to try to go coming out like this and then around the notebooks and from the outside back in. That way we have strings on top here, but maybe it looks cool, and I can make it the same size as these. And if it doesn't work, I think I will have enough to try another version. So let's see. Here I went with the thin string. So that's the smallest hole punch that I have. So I try this one. Looks about right. Let's see. If we go like this, and then round like this. I don't know, maybe that's a very dumb idea. There's a good reason that you typically do it just the other way, but maybe not. Maybe this is even better. We will see. Let's see what happens when we hang the notebooks in. So this one goes here. Doesn't look too good now, but let's see. So we definitely, if we do it like this, we need to have all slots filled up. That's for sure. But when we do, maybe. Compared to leather, you can just cut this with the scissors, which is definitely easier for round shapes like this. So we would have to make 2 stamps today. Good enough, I think. Looks good. So these didn't work too well, unfortunately. I used the puncher here wrong. Now it's ripping out. And it is also very stiff. Still not very happy with that. Also I tried using this insert here, which is the pocket-sized insert, but it doesn't fit very well, and I don't like the plastic. So still two things to fix: the insert and these parts here. So much better than the metal one, I think, and it worked good. The other side is way cleaner. Now we can probably get away with one knot, and then maybe it isn't too thick here. So I decided to reinforce this part here. It's just another piece of this same cork leather and just some of this glue. And now somehow it's getting difficult to find anything. Perfect. Now that we found the small hole punch here, I can get the holes in these reinforced parts, and then I will try to then this one. So now I have this string here, goes over here and over here and others here. So welcome back to the present. Glad you made it so far. Also a bit impressed, to be honest. So let me quickly go over the modifications that I've made since then. So the first and main one that I really liked and is that when I finished the first notebooks that I had, I switched to making notebooks that you can just take out without and that are not stapled together. I think this is a strength of this concept. I wanted it thin, so I didn't want too many papers, and I don't and I made these ones with, so you have a little folder section each of them, and I don't need to make this all the time new, and this way I don't even have to have so many papers in here. I can just have a few and get new ones if they are done. So this is the main change that I make. Here I have lined paper. There I have this yellow paper, this calendar section, and the sketchbook. It's also the same in that I can just take out these sheets and put new ones in there. And I've switched to making the wallet part just from paper. So that's for this one. Also I made another version here as a gift, and this is a very clean version, and it has the other major advancement, let's say. Here I had these rubber bands attached to the outer cover, and this is something that I changed on all iterations since then, because I realized it is not only having loose papers in here is quite a cool thing, but also having these single folders or these single applications, whatever you want to put in there, having loose, always being able to take a notebook section out and just taking this with you or changing them. That's I think awesome, and it makes everything way easier, because you don't have to decide how many things you want to hang in there. So for these rubber bands I used, I don't know if you can see that, I used you can find these things in the craft store for making bracelets and stuff like these here in different sizes. From this process here, I think I recorded this. If I get to it, I'll make a quicker video with this concept. I pretty much like these staggered folder structure. So that's awesome also. Another variation was regarding these pocket books. For a while I felt like I really want to have it on there permanently, and so I made another version which was the same height but wider. And so here we have we have a spot where I can just simply put one of these completely in here, and then here I have these strings and just a few sheets of different papers on the back, and here I have also a section for a wallet section built into the cover. And so this also was a neat little package. During this time I also experimented with what I was going to do with my real smartphone, and I was really happy with this thing. This is called Palm Pepito, and it is super cute and just enough, big enough. You can do everything that you can do with other smartphones, but you don't really want to. I've made a few versions where we have just a very thin version of the PaperPhone. And what I'm currently using at the moment for a version that is a little bit smaller. So I know I've talked a lot about having this 16 by 9 or the 16 by 8.5 for the single notebooks, but here I went with the 14 that the A6 notebook says, but I stripped the side and went for 7.5 centimeters wide. And so here I also have the concept of the single notebooks that you can just take out. Yeah, for the moment I really like this smaller form factor. I have the wallet here. The good thing is if you put your credit card just on the back here, it is right on the back, and so you can also have the payment option of just putting your paper smartphone on the machines in the store and paying with your notebook, which is also quite cool. So yeah, that's the current smaller version. I like the colors. I made them from another notebook design that I made for a company a while ago, and so this is also my artwork, but the astronaut got a little PaperPhone logo on the head. So also like this one. So I don't know, there is a lot more we could talk about. Talking about sizes, talking about what you can put in there, but I think you will have ideas on your own. Also, yeah, what you do regarding different smartphone or telephone options, or taking photos or not. I enjoyed going for analog pictures with analog cameras and getting them developed in the last I think 2 years. So perhaps if you're interested, let me know, and we can explore some of this even more. But for now, I think it is enough. Have fun, make a PaperPhone, it's cool, and see you soon.